Hey guys, this is National Master Kevin Yang back at it with another video. So of course this is the second part to my game with Sethey5. So of course we will talk about how this game and the last game relate. And actually they do, very coincidentally. But that's how it goes. So after E4, I brought out a modern weapon of mine, the Scandinavian. Hmm, you know, some people think it's good, some people think it's bad, but the goal is after e takes d5, some people play queen takes, I play knight f6, and after something like c4 to protect this pawn, I play c6. After you take, I bring out the knight. Black could also play e6, and after take, bring out the bishop. Both work. But in this case, our Sethey5 didn't do such thing, right? So, for example, I could also play d5, e takes, queen takes, knight c3, queen a5, and after a series of moves like this, bishop d2 or something like that, bishop c4, bishop f5, and after a series of moves, black develops castles. It's all good. So instead, Sethey5 played the move knight c3, and I played the move e6. Does this look familiar? It does. I played these two moves in the last game, and Sethey5 played e6 and c6 in the last game. So let's look at it. d3, c6. Now, at first you might think, why not just go d4 and c5? And the answer to you, or the answer to that question is, yeah, it's perfectly fine to play those two moves if you want to get that setup. You want to bring the knight up, get the pawn up, get some more space. It's all good. So after c6, bishop f4, and now I play the move bishop d6. And here you might think, why is the computer saying bishop d6 in inaccuracy? Well, of course, after bishop takes, queen takes, there's this move queen g4, maybe, but I mean, I would not consider it inaccuracy because first of all, it brings my knight out. It helps facilitate development. So that's the most important thing. So just like I've said before, you should never rely on the computer to judge the accuracy of your moves. You should rely on the computer as a double checker as to whether you're going in the right direction, right? If the computer says it's an inaccuracy, it sometimes may be the best human move, right? But it might not be the computer's first choice. So the computers are subjective. You should never rely on computers. They should always just be a form of double checking. So in this case, I think the move bishop d6 is an okay move. I like it. It's not that bad. It sort of neutralizes this bishop. It also helps my knight develop here, as I've said before. So here, you might think, what about d4 again? Well, yeah, it's perfectly fine. Some other moves I could consider include queen b6, attacking the pawn, bringing the knight out as well. All work. For right now, you can see that this triangle sort of locks in this bishop. And as Sethey showed in the last game, I could play b6, bishop b7, c5, slowly freeing the bishop, but that's for later. So after bishop d6, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop e2. Now, the thing with bishop e2 is when you develop a piece, you want to develop it to the best square you can. And to me, it feels like this bishop is sort of lacking potential on this square. Now, it might be hard to think about it, but when you develop your pieces to a certain square, it should sort of upstart your plan in the middle game. So, for example, white might be thinking, let me just push g3 and f4, right? But then when you push those two pawns, the bishop would belong on this square to sort of eye the center, right? Because if you put g3, f4, e5, if you're trying to do that, feels like the bishop would belong on this square more to look towards the center. But when you make a move like bishop e2, it sort of feels like, the knight's going to come out, right? The knight's going to come out, and then this bishop's going to be blocked in. And to me, it sort of feels like, it's not the most optimal place for a bishop to develop. Now, at least we're developing, but sometimes we got to think about how to develop to a very useful square. And after knight e7, knight f3, knight d7, I'm sort of preventing this move e5. So that you might think this might be ineffective, right? Why not play something like knight a6, knight c5, right? But I'm going to play knight d7. I'm going to prevent him from playing e5. And our Sethey5 plays e5 still. I take the free pawn and let us continue. After queen d3, yeah, I like queen d3. I like it. The transfer, maybe to the square, maybe to the king side, maybe after playing f4 transfer, but all that is in the balance. So stay tuned to the next part. I will be back for part 3, and keep having fun, keep discovering your curiosity, but I will be right back.